Yay Networks.
Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. A little late, but still here. I'm Kellie Raspberry Evans. This is my husband and podcast co-host, Alan Evans.
Hey, train in the house.
Oh, you're doing special effects. No, we're actually...
It's cold, babe.
It is
it's
cold
in
outside,
here.
but we're very lucky. We have heat, and
yes.
we're doing well.
We have heat in here.
And on the outside and on the inside, because we've got so much to tell you tonight. I was like, Alan, I'm going to pour myself a glass of wine and kick back and just chitty chat with everybody tonight.
Babe, it is so cold outside.
Oh, boy. How cold is it?
It is so cold. I saw a polar bear with a parka on.
That's a good one.
Babe, it is so cold outside.
How cold is it?
It is so cold, I chipped my tooth on my soup today.
Oh, no.
Babe, it is so cold outside.
How cold is it?
It is so cold, I saw a dog stuck to a fire hydrant.
Oh, yeah.
One more.
You want me to ask?
Babe, it is so cold outside.
How cold is it?
I saw two grasshoppers trying to jumpstart a mouse.
See, this one I don't get. I tried to explain to Alan. The mouse would outlive the grasshoppers because the mouse has a little bit of fur, right?
That's good, clean humor. What? There's nothing wrong with that.
That one I think has got technical problems.
You know, I shouldn't have told those because I told those to my boys and neither one of them laughed.
Yeah, they're dad jokes.
Yeah, they looked at me, Daddy, that's corny.
Yeah, I guess dad/corny jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad you still have your sense of humor.
Hey, but we're hashtag blessed.
We're very hashtag blessed. I don't care if y'all think that's corny. It's true. We are hashtag blessed because we are home. And, you know, if you've been keeping up with the news, I don't know if you're in Texas, but if you've been watching the news at all, you see what's happening in Texas right now. Didn't you say the meteorologist said this is a generational freeze, that you only see this once per generation?
I saw one meteorologist that said that this is the first time that all 270 counties in Texas have all been under a winter storm warning at the same time.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've not seen anything like this for such an extended period of time. And unfortunately, they've been having rolling blackouts, where my parents are under this. They say the power comes on for about 45 minutes and goes off for about 45 minutes. So it's not enough for them to get, they said they're staying pretty comfortable, because the house is heated up and then just right when it starts to cool off or whatever, the power comes back. But when I call to check on them, sometimes it'll say, doo-doo-doo, the number you're trying to reach has been disconnected or is no longer in service. That means their power is out again. But they're doing fine. A lot of people have lost power altogether, and I know that's been
1.6 million, I think, in Texas.
And
right?
I was reading, because I'm always on Nextdoor app. And
might be more than that.
People with the utility companies say, just letting y'all know that the workers are busting their butts to get everybody back on as quickly as possible. Alan and I, we came home. We were out of town for the weekend, but when we got back, we didn't know what we would be facing. But my cul-de-sac neighbors, we were in a little text group. And everybody in our cul-de-sac said, we don't know what's going on, but none of us have lost power. We haven't even been part of the rolling blackout. So when I got home again today, we're like, how's everybody doing? Everybody still has power on. Nobody's lost power. Now, our neighbors across the street have lost water. They have lost water, though. Because their pipes are freezing.
Our neighbors across the street said they put in a recirculating system.
Yeah, they some soft water system.
And they thought it might be too close to the surface. I ran into them today when I was picking up the package from next door. And they were so defeated. They had to go next door to another neighbor's house to get buckets of water so they could fill up their toilets.
I know, it's bad. And we started to have our pipes freeze in the master bathroom. I noticed it. I went to go brush my teeth and the cold water wasn't coming on.
Okay, when that happened, there was one person who panicked and another person who was like the Fonz.
I did, honestly, in this case, I did not panic much. After the weekend we had, I wasn't panicking much, but I was like, we need to do something about this. And we did. We got the water back flowing again.
We just opened the valves in all the all the bathrooms in the house, so they're just dripping.
Yeah.
We also we're fortunate that we have a heater on our pool, and it's close to the master bathroom.
Yeah.
So that was recirculating some warm water back there where we were having the pipes freeze.
So hopefully we've averted danger, but we've got several more nights of this to go.
Yeah.
So we're kind of, watching it. But, back to the thing, we still haven't experienced rolling blackouts. And my neighbors and I were, group texting, and one of them surmised that they believe we're on the same power grid as the hospital or this gigantic water tower that's across the street from us in the neighborhood across the street. So it's one of the two or maybe both. But I guess as a last resort, they would do rolling blackouts at a medical facility. So that's the only thing we can think of. But we are very, very, very blessed to not have to deal with that, the rolling blackouts. I have to remember to keep turning off the lights because you don't even think about it when everything's fine. They're asking everybody that does have electricity to conserve and not do, useless stuff and run loads of laundry and dishwashers and stuff. And do a podcast probably. Maybe we're not using that much energy, but but you don't realize, you just walk in and out of rooms and leave all the lights on without giving it a second thought. So anyway, in Texas next week it's supposed to be in the 60s. So it's just crazy. But I'm hoping everybody can get through it. I know there's going to be a lot of insurance claims and stuff filed, and our gas bill is going to go through the roof probably. But
yeah, better to have a big gas bill than have a plumber come out and have to fix a bunch of pipes.
Yeah, and a lot of people are having to experience that. Yeah. I know a lot of people that have swimming pools like we do. A lot of them are having their equipment just freeze and burst. So. Gonna be a lot of busy pool companies this year.
Yeah, and again, lucky I turned the heater on the pool and that raised it a few degrees. But then we have this system that when it gets below freezing or close to freezing, it always circulates, like it won't ever stop.
Yeah.
So there's a waterfall, so it keeps the water moving.
Yeah, it's some sort of anti-freezing measure. When the temperature gets a certain degree,
it pretty well.
Off. Yeah. So far, so good. Knock wood and praise the Lord. But anyway, that's enough of that. We have to tell y'all about our weekend. The reason we're late recording this podcast.
Valentine's Day weekend.
Our Valentine's Day weekend.
Or Galentine's.
It was a little bit of both, wasn't it, baby?
Or Allentine's.
Or Allentine's.
Or
That's
Palentine's.
Right. For Christmas this year, this past year now, right? I gave Alan a Valentine's weekend trip to Nashville. And because he's really gotten into country music lately. He loves Hardy. He got the boots, the hat. He's really bought in. And I was like, let's go to Nashville. And, who knew at the time we were going to have this winter storm disaster. But, yeah, that was what our Valentine weekend. So
yeah, Kelly gave me for Christmas. I opened this little present. There was a little shot glass, and it was a Nashville shot glass. There were like these little boots that said Nashville on it. And
real cheesy.
Yeah, real cheesy looking. And I thought, that's kind of random. I thought she regifted it, honestly. I thought she got it somewhere and just regifted it to me. So I was like, haha, whatever. And then a couple of presents later, I opened another gift, and it was
the next one.
It was the next one. It was the tickets to go to Nashville. She said, surprise, this is your Valentine's present. We're going to go to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
We've never been together. We're going to go check that out. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Later on that morning, we got the news that bomb exploded in Nashville, which was really strange.
Yeah.
What is happening right
Yeah.
now? So we'll probably get into it a little bit, but we were staying very close to where that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we were still in the evacuation zone, but we had a wonderful time in Nashville. Getting home was a little bit of a different story, but we'll get to that. But, we were very blessed to have a wonderful time. Now, before we get to our big stories, did you know 70% of people say they want to use natural products, but only 2% do? I think a lot of people are just overwhelmed by the idea of going green or, going all natural with the cleaning products and all that. But you don't have to start like all or nothing. I think that's where people set themselves up when they just try to go all in and they're overwhelmed. Making small changes add up in a really big way, and that's where Grove Collaborative can help. Grove.co. It's the online marketplace that delivers natural home, beauty, and personal care products directly to your door. Grove Collaborative takes all the guesswork out of going green. You can browse the site for thousands of home, beauty, personal care products, all guaranteed to be good for you, for your family, your home, your pets, and the planet. Alan and I both love that Grove carries the brands we already know and love, like 7th Generation, Method, Mrs. Myers. because we stock up on the multi-surface spray that Mrs. Myers puts out. It works on everything. It smells so good. I love the foaming hand soap she has too. And also the Burt's Bees products, with the masks and everything. Lipstick is like, forget about it, but they're tinted lip balms. Burt's, let me tell you, that's my little secret. Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Balm. You can get that at grove.co. And you don't have to shop multiple stores or search endlessly online. Join over 2 million households who have trusted Grove Collaborative to make their homes happier and healthier. Plus, shipping is fast and free on your first order.
And making the switch to natural products has never been easier. For a limited time, when our listeners go to grove.co/sandwich, you get to choose a free gift with your first order of $30 or more. But you have to use our special code. Go to grove.co/sandwich to get your exclusive offer. That's grove.co/sandwich.
Thank you, babe.
Love Grove.
All right, so Valentine's weekend, I had to work Friday, but as soon as we got off the air, we raced to the airport. I mean, we were really racing by the skin of our teeth. Now, normally we would take an Uber, we'd take a Lyft, whatever, to get there, or we'd have somebody take us, but there's nothing worse than biting your fingernails, wanting to yell at whoever's driving, go faster, because they're doing you a favor or whatever, or a service by taking you. So Alan and I just said, okay, which car are we taking? Just jump in the truck. Now, I'm telling you this stuff now because it'll come back. This was all divine intervention. So we race to the airport in Alan's truck, park as close as we can to the gate. Thankfully, well, not thankfully, that sounds bad, but because we were running late, we didn't have to search all over for a parking space because the airports aren't that busy right now. Traffic's very low. And so we were able to park really close to our gate, run in on time. Everything was beautiful.
And we parked, and this is to be pertinent to the story, we parked at a terminal called Terminal A. If DFW Airport, if you've never been there, it's huge. It's one of the biggest in the country. And it's got A, B, C, D, and E terminals. And
isn't there F too now?
I think
I'm not
there
even
is.
sure.
And each one of those is huge, and they're all connected by this train, this like high rail train. Or,
like the monorail at Disney
Yeah, like
World.
a monorail. Or you can walk between them if you want to walk for miles and miles.
Or you can take buses.
Or you can take buses between them. But we parked at Terminal A because that's where our flight was leaving from.
Very close.
Yeah.
But we made it on the plane. Everything's fine. So we get to Nashville, and my friend Lindsay Lawler.
A little bit of turbulence.
Yeah, it was very turbulent. But that's not the airplane's fault. It's just the weather's fault. But you know what?
No problems, though.
There's a storm coming in,
Yeah.
right? Alan and I haven't been really keeping an eye on the local news. We didn't really know what was coming. I didn't, at least. Did you?
No.
I knew they were predicting cold weather, but we haven't been watching
No,
much television.
I knew they were predicting cold weather, but I didn't know, the freaking ice age was coming.
Right. So when I decided I was going to take Alan to Nashville for our Christmas Valentine's gift, my friend Lindsay Lawler, if you know her, if you've ever listened to the Kid Craddock morning show,
Nationally syndicated.
She is a singer and a songwriter in Nashville, but she also is a very smart businesswoman, and she has this rental space. It's like a loft. It's called, I want to make sure I get the name right. I don't want to say it wrong.
Nashville Music Loft.
Nashville Music Loft. You can go to nashvillemusicloft.com if you want to see it. But it's like you can rent it like we did. We stayed there. You could use it as an event space. She said she's had people, like if they want to bring in a professional chef and do like a big meal, but their home isn't big enough, you can rent their space for that. They have musical performances there, lots of different things. So that's what she has there. And so we stayed there, but she also has NashvilleBachelorettes.com. Very smart, because before COVID hit and everything, Nashville is like the number one destination for bachelorette parties. Did you know that?
Not until I went to Nashville. Another thing I learned, don't say bride tribe.
Yeah, right. So the thing about it, with Lindsay, like if you're going to do that, and if you're the maid of honor and it's your job to plan everything, but she really wants to go to Nashville and you've never been to Nashville before, or you wouldn't know what to do, our friend Lindsay is like a concierge service for that. She'll handle everything. Whether you want a party bus or you want, to get a private, or if you want to have like a private makeup artist come over to wherever you're staying to get you all made up before you go out and hit the town. Things like that.
And she's got connections. Like she
Lots
can
of
call.
connections.
She can call a restaurant and say, "Hey, I got a party at 10. Can you get them in? Like the special table, blah blah blah." She'll even call Ubers for you.
Yeah, that's what she did for us. So when we landed, she was so excited we were coming. So she had a car waiting for us when we got there. So we went straight to the loft and she met us there and we went to eat. That was our. She's like, we went to this place.
Typical Raspberry Evans.
And she said, "Oh, are y'all hungry?" I was like, "I am starving," because I was in such a hurry to get to the airport. We didn't have anything to eat on the plane. I am starving.
So what do y'all want? We'll
So
have
I
the
was
whole
like,
menu.
we'll have anything.
Yeah.
So we went to this restaurant and we had she said, "You got to get the hot chicken and macaroni and cheese." And so we did that, and then we're like, we're so hungry. Let's order appetizers too. Well, they accidentally brought us an extra appetizers. We had 3 appetizers, hot chicken and macaroni and cheese. We were so bloated. We said, "Lindsay, we don't know what you have planned for us, but we got to go take a nap."
Oh, and we were drinking mason jar cocktails.
Mason jars filled with cocktails. It was awesome. So we went back to have a little nap. And then she's like, "Okay, what do you want to do?" And it's like, "Well, we're in Nashville. We want to go honky tonkin'." Right?
Yeah.
So we went to a place that's literally called Honky Tonk. Honky Tonk Central, I believe is the name of it. And her friend Jake Maurer Band was performing. So that was cool.
Guy's such a stud.
Such a stud. Good looking, great singer, has a band with a fiddle. Can't play unless you have a fiddle in the band. There's a song that's called that.
He wears the coolest cowboy hats.
And a cowboy shirt.
Fancy cowboy shirts.
You know? So we were
just look like a cowboy.
So we're sitting at the bar and I'm like, I'm still full from lunch, but I want to be Kelly Good Time Girl. So I start drinking vodka. I was drinking a lot of vodka. So I'm sitting there. We're having a great time. And then I said, "Alan wants to hear Hardy. How can I get the band?" And the Jake Maurer band's gone off by that point. So then the next band comes up. I'm like, "How can I get them to play Hardy for Alan?" So I gave them $20 and they forgot. And so Lindsay went up there and said, "My friend tipped you and she wants to hear Hardy." So they did. It was really fun. Mm-hmm. And Lindsay got up there and sang too. She was singing Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, she's a singer.
It was just a fun night. And then
I made the bartender short circuit.
You did?
She asked me what I wanted to drink, and I said an old fashioned. She was like, "Ah."
Yeah, at a honky tonk bar.
It's a honky tonk. It's like
they don't do that.
They're serving you in these little plastic Dixie cups, you know, and they're
bigger cup.
They're charging you about $8, but they got this little tiny plastic Dixie cup, and I'm like, "Well, how about vodka on the rocks?" And she's like, "I can do that. I got that."
Yeah, so it was a honky tonk. You don't order stuff like that.
I thought old fashioned. Who can't make an old fashioned?
Alan, you're being a little uppity.
I'm from Dallas.
It was a honky tonk.
No,
you
I
get
know.
Beer or you get vodka.
Pretty much.
That's what it was going to be.
Or whiskey.
Right. So then after that, we went to this, it used to be a speakeasy. Like it was an old building that was, I don't know, when they did Prohibition. And there were so many stories.
Well, they used to bootleg booze.
Yeah, they had bootleg there. And everybody has performed on that stage. Elvis, she was just going down the list of all these people that had performed on the stage. It's called Skulls. Did I say Skulls?
You did not say Skulls.
And it's also, this is right around the block from where we were staying at Nashville Music Loft. But right around the block. And they're known for burlesque. Mm-hmm. So there was a stage that went through the restaurant where the burlesque dancers would have come.
I wasn't wanting to see some burlesque.
Well, because of COVID, they weren't having that. But we did get to see a 77-year-old cabaret performer. She was fabulous.
She had all her clothes on.
She did.
Fortunately.
Alan.
She was 77.
She was in great shape.
No,
she looked better than me.
She was, but I don't want to see
She was in better shape than your wife.
Well, you know.
You don't want to see me up there naked either.
Well, that'd make me mental if I saw somebody 77 without their clothes on.
She looked good. She was wearing skin-tight pants. She had a cute little haircut. She was awesome.
And where was she from?
Ireland.
Good eye, mate. Yeah, she was from Ireland, and Irish Spring.
She wasn't Scotland because Seamus.
No, she was from.
Cousin was from Scotland, right? And she was from Ireland.
She was from Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, she came over to our table because we were just loving her. We were just giving her all the love, so she came over. It was really great. So that was. We had a lot to eat, a lot to drink. We were done for the night. And this loft has blackout curtains. So I told Lindsay, she says, "Well, you want to get up and do all this stuff tomorrow?" I said, "Sure." I can't sleep past what? I can't sleep past like 8:30 with those blackout curtains. What time did I finally get
You got up at 10:40.
Oh my God, it was so much.
And it's the same time zone as we're on. So yeah, you legit slept in.
It was blackout curtains. I had no concept.
Man, I had to get up because I had twisted stomach because, I've been eating so good. And then I go there and I had 58 drinks. All 3 appetizers. And then what entree did I have? I had some pretzel sandwich or something.
Yeah, pretzel burger. And then that night you ordered a steak.
Yeah.
It was like Fred Flintstone ordered it.
Right.
It was like they slammed the steak on the table.
Right. So I've got freaking
and all the booze.
All booze, sugar, everything running through my blood.
Dessert. We ordered everything.
So I pop up at like 8 o'clock and I've got to run to the one bathroom in the loft.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm up. I might as well just make coffee.
Not me.
And then I panicked. Because whenever you're somewhere strange and you can't get the coffee to work. Panic.
Yeah, you did.
I literally panicked.
He did.
I almost went and woke you up. I almost went and woke you up.
Well, then when I finally did wake up, I got up. You were grumpy because you hadn't had your coffee. And I went over and I was pressing all the buttons. And I finally texted Lindsay. She said, "Did you try pressing the on button?"
It's like I knew that.
It was the on button.
It was a different model.
It was just a different model we were used to.
Well, that wasn't the only reason I was grumpy.
Did you try pressing the on button in the back? What was the other reason you were grumpy?
Wasn't the only reason I was grumpy.
What was the other reason?
Well, hello, hand. You didn't bring the lube.
I forget. Don't need to make
Why
a big
don't
deal
you
about
ever,
that.
on a road trip, ever bring the stuff?
Why don't you?
Because it's in your drawer. I don't know what to bring.
Why don't you remind me?
I always forget.
We always forget. All right, that's beside the point. So then we met Lindsay.
That's beside the point.
And Jules. That was so much fun. And we went to
Julie.
Well, I think she calls herself Jules.
I wasn't on that.
Well, when I watched the video, she goes, "I'm Jules."
Oh,
hey, Jules. Maybe
okay.
she is Julie.
Well,
I was calling her Jules because Lindsay called her Jules.
I wasn't.
So we'll go with Julie then.
I wasn't on that level with her.
Oh.
Maybe
I got too friendly.
She said, "Hi, I'm Julie."
Oh, that reminds me of the time that my Aunt Barbara, may she rest in peace, the family called her Babs. And so I remember introducing her one time to my friend. And I said, "This is my Aunt Babs." She goes, "It's Barbara." I was like, "Oh." So maybe that's the same thing. Maybe I should go back to Julie until she gives me permission to call her Jules.
Well, that'd be like if somebody called me Al. I'd be like, "It's Alan."
Anyway.
Yeah.
We went, then we went to a Galentine's lunch.
This was the next day.
This is, the next day after we got Allen coffee. We went to a Galentine's, literally. We didn't know this at the time.
No, I had no idea.
So we walk up, and Allen and I are early. Never happens in history. And I'm looking in all these girls. I even texted Lindsay. I said, "Are we at a social media influencers?"
And we were dressed real casual.
We were normal. I said, "Are we at a social media influencers convention?" Because every girl getting off the elevator looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
If you follow any social media influencer, what are they wearing?
Every gal there was dressed like Han Solo.
How so?
Tall leather boots.
Or
tights.
ankle boots.
Tights. Mm-hmm. A shirt, a vest.
A furry vest.
And then
the hat.
Usually a hat.
The hat.
Some kind of hat. And then they had everyone had long hair.
Extensions.
Like down past their ass. Mm-hmm. And it was all the curly, not
the waves,
the
beachy
wavy
waves.
Yeah.
It was
Every
crazy.
girl looked like that.
I swear, I said, "Are we at a social media influencers convention?" And we did not belong for more than one reason. Alan was.
What are you talking about? I was the only dude
I know,
there.
He was the only guy there. So, but it was still so fun because they were having because it was Galentine's theme, and it's such a beautiful space. It was at the top of the Thompson Hotel. It was called L.A. Jackson is the name of the bar at the top of the hotel. And it's just a beautiful scene, except it was really cloudy because guess what? There's a winter storm coming, right? But they had the Spice Girls theme. They had a DJ. Everybody was taking their pictures. It was really lovely. And Alan was such a good sport. They had something I've never seen before. Maybe it's exclusive to Nashville. Maybe it's at all the clubs, but we just haven't been going out, so we had no idea. Have you all heard of a shabong before?
I thought it was a rosé bong.
It was a champagne bong.
I thought it was a rosé bong.
Champagne.
Because we were all joking about slaying.
I don't know if it was pink champagne or whatever, honey, but it was champagne. Don't you remember when we drank it? It was bubbles, and I was burping the whole time.
Yeah, you were lurching a lot.
Because I'm not a big Bong Girl.
You were the only influencer
But
lurching.
I don't know if this is the Nashville thing or if this is a national thing, but we shot champagne, which was pretty cool.
I mean, it went down fast.
It went down, well, for you. I couldn't do it.
And that got me feeling pretty good pretty quickly.
Yep.
But you know what? Just like you introduced me to the mani-pedi.
Yeah.
I don't know what this says about me, though. It says something about me, and I'm not sure I'm real cool with it. But just like you introduced me to the mani-pedi, and I'm like, this is freaking awesome. You introduced me to the spa.
Yeah.
This is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I've now been taken to a Valentine.
What'd you think?
I was like, this is freaking awesome.
I know everybody's so pretty and clean.
Oh, I'm sitting around a room full of models, and then we all the drinks we can drink,
And then your wife.
Yeah.
Models and your wife.
well, no, and then all this awesome kind of frou-frou food.
But it was
and,
so good.
oh, everybody's happy. I had the DJ right next to me.
Yeah.
And she was doing the thing
There
with
was this beautiful pastry that the chef made just for us. It was like this cream cheese raspberry just blossoming croissant thing. It was so fun. So then after that, we had to go nap again because Kelly had too much. And then one of the things that, because Lindsay, my friend that has been there in Nashville forever, she has really gotten to know a lot of the songwriters in Nashville, which is just, they are the celebrities in Nashville. Of course, everybody's walking around hoping you see Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. And, you hope you'll get to see Taylor Swift when she sneaks into town.
Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay. But the songwriters are the ones, that they are the rock stars. And we were so unbelievably lucky, blessed, fortunate. I don't know. What would you call it? What adverb would you use to describe it?
Well,
it was unbelievable.
It's kind of a deal that you can't like buy it. It's something that you can only have done for you if you know
Lindsay.
People in the know, yeah.
Well, we had one of my favorite songs ever is Only Love by Wynonna Judd. I love that song. It's just been so long ago, you kind of almost forgot how much you love a song. The man that wrote the song came and performed it for us. He also wrote Bless the Broken Road, which was Rascal Flatts.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote a song with
the Chicks.
Marty from the Dixie Chicks, their song Ready to Run.
The Chicks.
It's the Chicks now, that's right.
Yes.
And anyway, Born to Fly by Sarah Evans. I was like, you're basically every country song I have in my iTunes was written by this man.
This cat wrote them.
Yes. So incredible. Again, Marcus Humman, if you want to look him up, Humman. It's like human, but with 2 M's. So that was really awesome. He had so many wonderful stories to tell. And then we had her good friend Chris Roberts. He goes by Disco Hiker on his Instagram, but they performed together a lot, and he's written some beautiful songs. And then Jake Morrow from The Night Before stopped by.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all singing.
And his band, and a lot of his band.
Yeah. And we were just singing and having just a greatest time. And that's, another experience just thanks to Lindsay. But she can do it, if people want it.
That was amazing. So we had a little private concert. Oh, and one thing we forgot to mention, Kelly's coworker, and a lot of you know her because she has a podcast.
Loose Lips and Childbearing Hips.
Yeah, Lacey. Lacey happened to be in Nashville at a birthday party with some of her friends. So she texted me the day before when we were at lunch.
Yeah, Lacey texts Allen.
And I'm like, hey, babe, Lacey's in town. And Kelly says, well, that's cool, but why did she text you? And I'm like, well, why would she not text me?
But why wouldn't she text me?
And Kelly says, because I work with her.
Yeah, I work with her.
And I said, I don't know. I have a friendly face.
And so as a joke, I was going to write.
Yeah.
I was going to text her, why the hell are you texting my husband?
And I wanted Kelly to do that. I'm like,
but
yes, you've got to do that.
That's too mean. That's too mean. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was like, why did you text my husband instead of me or something like that? Because I was afraid, why the hell are you texting my husband? She might literally have a heart attack.
And then Kelly panicked.
People are scared of me.
And then
for some
Kelly
reason.
panicked and let her off the hook.
I did. And then when she wrote me back, I was like, Lacey, I was just kidding. I don't care. Even though it was kind of weird, she didn't text me. She even texted you today.
No, I texted her.
Oh, you did, and she texted you back. You didn't tell me that part.
No, I was just like, Lacey, where are you?
Okay.
Are you okay? She's still in Nashville.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So Lacey comes. We all have a good time at the music thing. And then Sunday was Valentine's Day. So Sunday, we wanted to kind of get a feel for, by this time the weather was starting to turn. It was starting to get really cold, and it had iced a little bit the night before. So it was really slippery. So we were like, we want to see things, but we don't, we're kind of, what do we do? The weather's starting to really kick in. So Lindsay's friend Mason Shank, he just put us in his car and he drove us around and showed us all the in spots. He showed us he pointed out where Taylor Swift's condo is. She lives in the top floor. Mm-hmm. He drove us by where she and Jake Gyllenhaal went for coffee. He told us where Taylor likes to go for sushi. Mm-hmm. And he took us to Reese Witherspoon's store. She has it because Reese is from Nashville, and she has what's the name of her store, honey?
Draper James.
We went there, and then
showed us Clint Black's house.
We went everywhere. It was really fun.
A lot of the big names in country music. We saw where they live.
There was battles fought there. We went and saw where the battle lines were against the North and the. It's right where the North and the South met for a huge fight there, a battle.
Saw Vanderbilt University.
Yeah, we went to. We saw John and Rich. Rich was it? Rich and
Big and Rich.
We saw Rich's place. Anyway, and it has a big sign, trespassers will be shot, and we took that very seriously. But I said,
I like
Mason, we're in Nashville. Can you please take me to Living with Landon store? He's like, absolutely, wherever you want to go. So I went to Living with Landon, and it was towards the end of the day. They were getting ready to close down. And plus, remember, bad weather's moving in. So I got there, and the ladies were so sweet. They were like, oh my gosh, your timing is so good, because earlier today we had women lined up out the door to get in here. I was like, lucky me. So I, bought a couple things, and I was like, tell Landon. I didn't contact Landon because I knew she wasn't in town anyway. But then Landon found out I was there, so she texted me. Her daughter had a volleyball tournament. Landon and I are friends. Alan's like, whatever. But it was really fun, and you were sweet to let me go.
Oh, you had to go. And, I went into the store too. It was a very nice store.
Very nice.
Very nice.
All the social media influencers apparently shop there because it's all that beautiful, clean lines and naturals. I bought some bracelets.
I didn't see anything in there that wasn't white, tan, or sienna.
Yeah. I bought a couple
burlap.
I bought a couple of bracelets. I bought a necklace.
Or gray.
And I bought one of her Living with Landon notepads.
Yeah. And it was $900.
Oh, it was not. It was not.
Almost.
It was not.
It was expensive.
It was not.
Are you
kidding?
kidding?
I got for $100.
117.
107. Okay. I got a necklace, 2 bracelets, and a notepad.
A necklace, 2 bracelets, and a notepad
for $117. That was not bad. I could have done a lot more damage.
Hashtag marked up.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? She's my friend.
I know. It's fine. I didn't care.
Why are you saying that
I didn't care. It's fine.
That's not nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Some of it was expensive.
What are you charging for a hat?
There was 25.
How much you making off that, Mr. Markup?
25. You know how much her hats were?
No, I don't. But I'm not having people. That's not nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Her stuff was not overpriced.
Oh,
it was very nice.
I didn't say it was overpriced.
You did.
No, I did not. I just said it was a premium.
It wasn't. It was
Okay.
fine. It was fine.
Okay.
And I love her.
I know you do.
You're ruining my friendship with her.
I think you loved her more than me.
Well, you're ruining my friendship with her.
No, I'm not.
So then after that, after my wonderful trip to the Living with Landon store, which is not overpriced, we went to Valentine's dinner. And this is where we started to notice there might be some trouble setting in, because we had a bit of trouble getting a car. We finally managed to get one, a lift to get to dinner.
Oh, to get to dinner. Yeah.
We finally... Are you not paying attention to me again?
No, I was just... our live studio audience has some differences of opinion on pricing, but that's
rude.
okay. That's
You're
okay.
rude. So anyway, we finally got to dinner, and we went back to the Thompson Hotel because at the very bottom floor was Marsh House. And let me tell you, it was probably one of the top meals I have ever had in my life.
I've never heard Kelly go on and on as much as she went about that dinner at Marsh House.
And I love food.
Oh.
But this is truly, if Alan had not been there, or if he had been looking the other way, I would have licked the bowl. I was that good. But like I said, we started to notice there was trouble because getting car service was starting to be a big problem. Again, this was on Sunday night, our Valentine's night, right?
Yes.
So then we're going to get, there was nothing happened.
Well, no, wait a second.
Spectacular Sunday night. What?
Lindsay hooked me up with this bourbon.
Yeah.
Called Old Soul.
Yeah, you have a new bourbon you really like.
From Mississippi.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Yeah.
And she hooked you up with a glass of
champagne.
Champagne,
I
think.
Sweet.
We had
very
a
sweet.
little bouquet on our table.
Yeah, it was really sweet. We had a wonderful time, a wonderful dinner. But like I said, weather's starting to move in. And Alan and Kelly, not really watching the news, didn't really realize how bad it was about to get, but we were about to find out. All right, now listen, in a couple weeks, Alan's taking me on an RV trip. I'm very excited about that. Well, we'll see. But, the outdoors might be calling your name as well. And if you're ready to go, backcountry.com. You need to visit this website. What Alan and I love is when you shop at backcountry.com, you can pick up the phone and talk gear with an actual former Olympian. Backcountry was founded by a former Olympic skier who realized that knowledge and experience is everything. And now the company has become one of the nation's most successful online retailers for outdoor gear, employing over 200 of what they call gearheads, split 50-50 between men and women, who act as your personal concierge when it comes to connecting you with products to fit your needs. From Patagonia to Yeti to Big Agnes to Santa Cruz bicycles, Backcountry.com has thousands of your favorite brands and products for every outdoor adventure you can think of. Forbes raves that Backcountry.com is to online active gear shopping what Amazon is to books and what Zappos is to shoes. Now, Alan, you've actually talked to a gearhead and got some help when you needed some outdoor gear, right?
Yeah, because I'm a biker, but I'm not probably the most enthusiastic biker. So I wanted some bags for my bike. I didn't know what to buy. I didn't know what's going to fit my bike. So I talked to a gearhead. He asked me what kind of bike I had. He pointed me to a couple of different models on the website. I was able to research them, and I bought some saddlebags for my bike. Fit perfectly, and now I can stick my sandwiches in there, stick some groceries in there when the weather's nice, and ride around with my saddlebags.
Yeah, and you also got that nice vest too, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a Patagonia vest. I took that to Nashville.
So warm. It's incredible.
Glad I had that, and it looks good. And I have a Stetson hat that I got at backcountry.com. A Stetson felt hat.
Told you, he's into country. Well, the backcountry gearheads are the real difference with this company. They're former pro athletes, Olympians, 100 plus days a year skiers, seasoned guides with years of experience, and they're available 24/7 by phone, email, or chat.
So go to backcountry.com/sandwich and enter promo code SANDWICH to get 15% off your first full-priced purchase. Some exclusions apply. Go right now and get 15% off at backcountry.com/sandwich. Enter promo code SANDWICH. That's backcountry.com/sandwich. And don't forget to enter promo code SANDWICH.
All right. So we got through Valentine's Day.
Now, wait a second. What'd you get for Valentine's?
Oh, Alan got me a music box that when you turn it, it's like a little tiny little music box. It plays "You Are My Sunshine," and then you open it up and it says "To my beautiful wife," and it's a little inscription about how much you love me. And I can't remember exactly the verbiage, honey. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And you also got
But you did like it, right?
I did. I loved it. And he got me a necklace with a bee on it. Because when we first started our very first Valentine's Day 5 years ago, he gave me a bee necklace. And it was because we had met on Bumble. And so this is like an upgraded necklace. This is really nice.
What are you saying about the first one?
It was nice, but you could tell this is more expensive.
Do you still have the first one?
Yeah, I do.
Oh. Never see you wear it. Sorry. Go ahead.
And you got me a box of mixed chocolates and a little box of sweetheart conversation hearts because our first Valentine's Day, you put thousands of conversation hearts message side up on the counters. And so that's like a little nod to that.
Yeah.
Did you get me anything else?
I think that's
about it.
Yeah.
And what I get you?
Kelly got me a what do you call it? A leisure
lounge
a leisure suit. It's a polo.
No, a leisure suit's different.
A leisure
loungewear.
Athleisure wear. Yeah, it's a pullover that has a hood, and then it has matching pants that are joggers, and it's by what's the brand?
Outdoor Voices.
Hashtag not an ad.
No.
Outdoor Voices, which is really, really nice stuff.
It's really expensive.
Yeah. So this stuff is like butter.
Yeah, it's really nice.
In fact, I don't even need to wear an undershirt or underwear. I can just wear these as long johns.
Yeah, they were nice. I'm glad you liked them.
So
I got you navy because you look good in navy. I just want to get you something besides black. Everything Alan wears is black or gray. So I got him navy.
No, not true.
I want you to go and I want you to take a video of your T-shirt collection. And I want to prove to everyone that I am telling the truth.
And you don't think that there's another color outside of black and
gray? You have
gray?
white, gray, and black. That's the majority of your T-shirt collection.
I have.
Now, if you throw in a random green one, that
green.
doesn't count. Okay, one.
I have dark red.
You can't tell me that the dominant colors in your closet are black and gray.
I have cornflower blue.
Can't believe we're debating this.
I'm a master debater. I've told you this 100 times. Where were we?
Okay, we're back to I've talked a lot about our Valentine weekend.
Oh.
I'm turning over Monday to Allen. I'm here to add color commentary.
So Monday's the day we're coming home.
Right.
Correct? Okay, so Monday. Let's see. Sunday was Valentine's Day. We didn't stay up real late. Not too late.
No, because we knew by this point, because they had moved our flight on us, we knew weather was coming at this point because it had sleeted there.
Right.
And the airline had changed our flight.
Right. So Monday, our original flight was supposed to be 5 p.m. Like Kelly said, American moved it up to 11:30 a.m.
I guess trying to beat weather that was coming.
Yeah. Our original plan was to stay there Monday, maybe hit some consignment shops or just whatever, walk around a little bit and do something and then go to the airport late. This was if the weather was good. The flight gets moved up to 11:30 and Kelly and I are thinking, okay, this is probably a better deal for us because we'll get out of here. We can get home early, get the dogs, get home, do a podcast, and we won't be rushed.
Yeah, and by this point we knew weather was coming.
Right. That was our original thinking. If everything goes correctly, that's what we're going to do. So we wake up the next morning, get ready, pack. We didn't have much to pack. So about 8 o'clock in the morning, I asked Kelly, I said, you want me to call the Uber? She's like, yeah, go ahead. So I start looking on Uber. Every Uber, it was like, no cars, no cars, no cars. I'm like, babe, I'm going to start hitting these, but there's no cars, So I start hitting Uber X, Uber Black, Uber Comfort.
I'm doing Lyft at the same time.
And then I'm telling Kelly, look, I'm not having any luck. Try Lyft. So Kelly's doing Lyft at the same time I'm doing Uber. And neither one of us can get an Uber. And we're trying this for a good 30, 45 minutes. Finally, Kelly says, look, I'm going to call or text Lindsay and ask her if, number one, she can either come get us or send Seamus, her husband, to come get us.
Well, by this point, everything is iced over.
Yeah, it was solid ice, guys.
And they live at the top of a hill.
Right, right.
So I'm like, does anybody did they have a 4-wheel drive and a lot of nerve? And she's like, it's not really about having a 4-wheel drive because the roads are covered in ice.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to panic.
So this entire day, I was telling Kelly, we were reviewing what happened to us. We were like, it was this big day of these roller coasters. Okay. So the first roller coaster is like, we're going down. We're like, we're not going to be able to get to the airport. We're not going to get to the airport. We're going to be stuck here at this condo and we can't get to the airport. So she's calling Lyft. I'm calling Uber. She texts Lindsay. Lindsay says, I might have a driver that can come get you guys. She
started calling all the car services, where you can have a private driver if you want. And she just started calling everybody she knew that was a driving. We tried the cabs. I tried cabs.
I was on hold with a cab company for 20 minutes.
And while Alan was on hold with cabs, I said, let me try Uber again. Well, I had tried Lyft and was having no luck, but with Uber, my credit card had expired. So this is another little twist. So as I request a car, it was like the only car that was available was like $125 for what normally would be a $15 ride to the airport. I'm like, we got to go for it. So I requested it, but my credit card was expired. So while it's searching I'm putting in, they made me do a PayPal or something. Anyway, I never confirmed the car. I canceled out of it. Later that day, they tried to charge me for it. Mm-hmm. But I got out of that.
Right.
They refunded me that, but that was a big mess up.
So we keep trying on Uber and Lyft. Kelly texts Lindsay. Lindsay says, I might have a driver for you. Well, while that's going on, I get a hit on my Uber. I'm like, babe, I got a car. And this was like 8:45. And we were wanting to leave by...
We wanted to leave by 8:30.
We wanted to leave by like 8:30 at the latest because of the weather and everything. And the flight's at 11:30. So I said, I got an Uber. Right at the same time,
Bing!
Kelly gets a text that says Lindsay had just sent over a driver. So I'm like, what are the odds? So
and she said, I said, uh-oh, Alan got an Uber. She goes, he's on his way. I was like, okay, Alan, cancel the Uber.
Yeah, unbelievable. So
it was just one of those things.
I spent 45 minutes trying to get an Uber. I got one, and then I canceled it. So that
didn't matter because we had a ride to the airport.
So I'm sure my Uber rating is like awesome. So the driver comes, he pulls up. It's a big SUV or whatever.
Such a nice man.
So here we go.
He literally got out of bed.
So now we're like, yeah, we got a car. So we hop in the car. He takes us to the airport.
No problem.
No problem. I mean, it was icy, but he's like driving slow. No problem at all. We get to the airport, check our bags through the priority line because we had bought some upgraded tickets.
It was Alan's Valentine gift, so I splurged, okay? I splurged and got us first class. Let me just tell you what we got for our first class. Nothing. On the way to Nashville, the turbulence was so bad, they served no food. They only served soft drinks. One man asked for coffee. She said, I won't serve coffee because the turbulence is so bad. You can burn yourself. So we got soft drinks, and that was it. On the way back, there was no ice. First class isn't always what it's cracked up to be. That's my only complaining. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we get to the airport, check our bags, go through security, no problem.
No problem.
There's hardly anybody there. There weren't a lot of people at the airport.
Well, why is that? Because only 3 flights were going to take off.
Yeah.
Only 3 flights in the whole airport, and one of those flights was to Dallas. Now, poor Lacey, who had been there the night before, her flight got canceled, and she could have flown standby on our flight, but she was coming from another area, and we didn't know her flight was different from ours, and she was trying to reschedule, and she was going to fly standby on our flight. We didn't know this at the time. She would have been about one of 100 people trying to fly standby on our flight. She would have never made it anyway, right? But there were lines of people whose flights had been canceled. They were all trying to rebook. Hundreds of people. It was a sad, sad scene.
So Lacey was on the 1:30 or something like that, and that's one of the flights Kelly just mentioned. They all got canceled except for our flight. So she had to rebook.
Then we got moved to.
So she was stuck in Nashville, and then our flight was showing on time. The whole time it was showing on time. We go through security, go to the gate, board, no problem.
Well, we were a little late boarding.
Yeah, because the flight came in. Minor details here.
Yeah.
The flight came in a little late, so we're a little late boarding.
But we're starting to hear bad things.
Yeah, because we were walking through the airport and we hear this person come over the PA saying something about it was
another flight.
It was like a JetBlue or something like that. They said, we have run out of de-icing fluid. So, and you could just hear the
Yeah, and people are getting mad at the poor gate agent. And you should hear people and the things they're mouthing off. It's like, come on, guy.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's such a thankless job, and you're shooting the messenger, right? So they're not equipped for this kind of stuff. They don't anticipate this kind of stuff. And so anyway, we get to our gate and we're going to board.
Yeah. So we get on and they start de-icing the plane. They start, I don't know if you've ever been on a plane where they have to do this, but they pull up this crane next to it, basically, and they just squirt it with all this fluid. It's like pink and green. And
it's fumey.
Yeah, it kind of smells
fumey.
funny, but they have to do it in 2 stages. They throw on this one coat, and then immediately after, they throw on this other coat. And
we learned a lot about de-icing.
Yeah, and you have to be wheels up in the air after that second coat in a certain amount of time. If you're not, then you can't go.
Yeah, because once you get up in the air, all the ice knocks off, but they got to get you up.
Yeah. So they tried there were 2 planes in front of us. They de-iced them. So we're sitting there for about an hour. They start de-icing ours, and they keep going and going and going. And the pilot comes on and says, look, they're trying to de-ice our airplane, and they just are not having any luck.
Because it was sleeting at this point.
Yeah, it's sleeting really hard at this point. And they said it just keeps refreezing. So we're going to have to pull back to the gate. So we pull back to the gate.
We're not really. No, it's like, you know what? everybody's safety is the most important thing, right? What's the worst thing that can happen? You know, a lot of people have worse things happen when they try to take off in bad conditions. So we were like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah. So we pull back to the gate and he says, you know, it's going to take me a minute to figure out what they want us to do. So we just kind of sat there. We're just, you know, sitting there reading or whatever. And he says, folks, they want you to get off the plane because we're not sure if this flight's going to even go. It hasn't been canceled, but we're not sure if we're going to be able to fly. It's just the weather's he said the weather's okay in Dallas. It's just too bad for us to go now.
Well, yeah, because it was sunny in Dallas at that point. Now, on my app on the phone, it kept saying the plane was being delayed by another 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And Alan and I were like, we see the writing on the wall. Everybody on this plane is going to run to the ticket counter and try to rebook. So let's just go ahead and see what our options are.
So we were the first one. We were literally the first people off the plane because we were sitting in the very first row. So we just walked briskly, and we had to walk out of security now. Our bags are still on the airplane, but we had to walk out of security to get into the ticketing line so we could figure out, okay, now what are we going to do? So we're standing there and just kind of on our phones. I'm calling American to see if I can get them faster, and it's a 2-hour wait on the hold.
And all I'm thinking about is if I don't get home, my producer, Robert, you know him as Sonny or White Cheddar.
Stop talking.
He is going to kill me. I could just hear him in my ear. Didn't you know bad weather was coming? Why did you? And I'm like, and I know he might not have ever really said those things to me, but I just knew inside he would be seething at me. I told Alan, we've got to get home. Go see if you can rent a car. We're going to have to drive home in this weather. And he's like, are you sure? I was like, we're going to have to try.
Yeah, so Raspberry here throws a big panic and says, "What do you think about driving home?"
And you looked it up online.
And so I used my best friend Siri, that rarely works, but this time I said, "Siri, how far is it from Nashville to DFW?" And it says 10 hours. I'm like, if it's 10 hours when the weather's good, it's going to take us 24 hours.
I said, that's fine. We got to go.
Okay, so to humor my wife, and I knew in the back of my mind, there's no freaking way I'm going to do this.
But at least you went.
I went down to rental cars while Kelly's in line. I stand in line there for a while, and I get up to one of the agents. She goes, "We've got no one-way cars, but you could book online and get one tomorrow." I was like, okay. So I'm thinking now, okay, here's what we could do. We could spend another $100 to go back to the condo, spend another $100 to come back tomorrow, and then spend another $100 and drive 24 hours to Dallas. I'm like,
oh, it'd be more than that.
I am not doing this. So just to humor Kelly, I get in another line, and she just said, we just don't do one way, and we don't have any cars anyway. So I'm like, okay, answered that question. So I go up to Kelly. I said, babe, driving home is not an option. We're gonna
said, but I'm going to the snack bar. You want something?
Yeah.
So I said, no, I don't want anything.
So I bring up a bunch of snacks and a big vitamin water. And right as I'm cracking open my vitamin water, this American Airlines employee walks by us. We've been standing there now for about an hour. And she says, "You guys going to Dallas?"
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah. And she says, well, there's a chance that plane's still going to go. The crew wants to get home.
They want to go home. Well, we do too.
and if the weather lets up, they're going to go. And I looked at her and I said, we've already been in this line an hour. What are the chances? Do you have any idea? And she goes, sir, I really don't. It's dependent on the weather. So Kelly and I could have stood there. Probably there were, 100 people in front of us.
At this point, because we've been standing there for a while.
We could have stood there another 2 hours to try to figure out, do we change our flight? Do we stay here another couple of days? Or do we get out of line, go back through security, and go back to the gate and get back on the airplane? And that's what we did. That's what we decided to do.
Yes, we were like, go for it. We have to take a chance. So we had to go back through security, which was not a problem. We were like literally the only people going back through security. And we go run into the gate, and there were a bunch of people still there. I guess because we got off the plane first and we thought we're going to be so smart and go ahead and get in the ticket line to rebook, that a lot of people were told, well, the flight's not canceled yet. So they were just kind of hanging back, waiting to see what would happen. When we were walking up to the gate, they said, okay, we're now ready to board, because there was a break in the weather. So we all piled back on the plane. Thank goodness we made it in time for that. We were just like, another roller coaster, like up, down, like you said.
Yeah, it was just this whole day of and then yeah, and then and then yeah. So now we're like, yeah, we're gonna get back on the plane, and I'm still thinking in the back of my mind, babe, there's no way. They're gonna kick us back off.
But I was optimistic. I was praying. I was like, you know what? I really just turned it over to God. I said, no matter what, we're going to be okay. I really want to go home. And that's what I was praying. I want to go home and I want to get there safely.
So we get back on the plane, same seats. Our bags are presumably still on the plane because
they never.
Yeah. But when I was down where the rental cars were, that was where baggage claim was too. And they were pulling all these bags off airplanes. I didn't tell you this.
But you didn't know if it was ours or not at that point.
Well, I went up to the guy and I said, there's a chance we're going to go back to our condo, our hotel or whatever. I said, can I get my bags? And he goes, yeah, they're going to be coming off. And I'm like, okay. So then when I went back up and she said, get back on the airplane. Now I'm thinking, I don't even know where our bags are going to be.
Well, at that point, I didn't care. I just want to go home.
Yeah, right. So they de-iced the plane. And at this point, it had gotten lighter outside and it wasn't sleeting. So they de-iced us. That took a while. We sat there for a long time before they said we could go. But we were the only airplane that was getting de-iced, and we took off in that stuff. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I couldn't believe he got the airplane up off that.
And that de-ice worked so well that there was no ice on the plane.
Yeah.
We had to drink our soft drinks with no ice.
So we weren't going to complain, huh?
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm complaining
about. You
about.
didn't have any ice, huh, babe?
No ice in my drink.
You didn't have an ice in your Sprite, huh?
No, I did not. And I didn't have Sprite. They were out of Sprite, honey. Wow. I had a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, well, they didn't have your soft drink either. Wow.
But I did get pretzels on the flight home. That was good. All right, so real quick. They were going to tell, okay, so everything we're like, oh my gosh, we are going home. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. We're almost there. And then we land. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to wrap up the end of this never-ending saga
Bring it home
1 minute.
For Jerome.
In 1 more minute. But you know what? We use Amazon for everything. Shopping, food delivery. We watch movies, obviously, now. Well, now it's time for you to use Amazon Pharmacy. Were you aware of this? This is really cool. It's a genius idea. No more waiting at the pharmacy. The last time I had to go to the pharmacy, they put in a drive-through to help save time. It's almost worse because if you get behind that one person at the front of the line, it drives me nuts. Okay, hallelujah. Amazon Pharmacy delivers your medication directly to your door. Super easy to sign up. I did it. It took me less than 5 minutes. Maybe 3 minutes. It was really fast. And, with Amazon Pharmacy, it works with most insurance plans nationwide. You just have your doctor's office send your prescription straight to Amazon Pharmacy. So instead, when my doctor always asks me, is your pharmacy still the same? I'm like, nope. Now I'm with Amazon Pharmacy. Anyway, Amazon Prime members get free 2-day delivery. Plus, you're going to save on prescription medication when paying without insurance. I really want to give you to give this a try. I know you're going to be pleased with how easy it is to get signed up. It was probably the easiest thing I've ever done. And you're also going to love the fact that you never, ever have to wait in a pharmacy line again.
And Amazon Prime members can save on prescription medication when not using insurance and get free 2-day delivery. Learn more at amazon.com/sandwich. That's amazon.com/sandwich. Amazon.com/sandwich.
Seriously, y'all will really, really be pleased with this.
Okay, so smooth flight back. We're a little bit late, but, I was telling Kelly on the flight back, I said, the original plan was to leave at 5.
Yeah.
So I said, if you just think about that, we're kind of on the same schedule.
Yeah.
No problem.
And because of what was happening in the Dallas area, and everything was frozen over, our dogs were being kept at this place we love, Sherry's Pet Spa, #not an ad. I've used her for years when I had George. We love her. She loves our dogs.
Amen.
And she's like, hey, I'm not open today, but I'm going to come up there and meet you so you can get your dogs because things are bad. We don't know what tomorrow's, the weather's going to hold up. Could lose power at the spa, the pet spa. So go get your dogs. Awesome.
Okay, so just real quick, babe. When we land... And this happens a lot if you're from Dallas or have been to Dallas or through Dallas. Remember I was saying before, you got A, B, C, D, E, and F terminals. Well, most of the time, if you're lucky, you'll come back. If you leave from A, you'll come back at A. But of course, on this day, when it's 10 degrees outside, we came back at C. So we come back at the C terminal. So I tell Kelly, I said, I just had an idea. The Skylinks were down. The trams were down. So you can't use those.
You don't want to wait outside.
You don't want to wait outside for that bus because it was too cold to stand outside. So I said, you go to bag check, get our bags. I'm going to walk all the way over to the A terminal, which is
not that horrible.
Not that horrible, but we're at 25, gate 25, and then I've got to walk, to about the middle of A. So,
it's not the end of the world.
Not the end of the world, but it was a nice walk. I was pretty warm when I got there. But anyway, I said, I'll go get the truck, which is parked at A. I'll come back over here and pick you up.
No problem.
Genius. Because
I've got arm muscles. I can get our bags off the conveyor belt. I'm not worried about it one bit.
And you can stay inside. You don't ever have to come outside. I'll pull right up to the curb and I'll throw them in the back and we're gone. So I do just that. I go over there, get in the truck, tell Kelly I just made it to the truck. And when I got there, I had a bottle of water that I left when we left. It was frozen solid. That was kind of interesting. So I sit there for a minute, warm up the truck.
Again, divine intervention, getting ready to tell you about that because there were no cars. There were no Ubers. There were no Lyfts. There were no cabs.
Yeah. And my truck is four-wheel drive, which was awesome. So I take it out of the C terminal parking, go all the way around and park out. I parked in 1 hour parking at A, and I tell Kelly, I'm here, thinking that by now the bags are... Kelly's got them both, and she's just going to come out, and I'll pick her up.
I'm standing there waiting. Where's Alan? Where's Alan?
Well, Kelly told me, okay, your bags come off, but I'm waiting on my bag. And then what happened?
So I'm standing there, and the conveyor belt, is going around and around and around, and every bag came off, and suddenly the conveyor belt shut off, and my bag didn't come off. And so I tell Alan, my bag's not there. His first thought was, oh, you were on your phone texting Lindsay or texting Lacey or playing Best Fiends.
Best Fiends.
And somebody stole the bag.
It's friends without the R.
He's thinking this is my fault because it's
not
always
what I
my
said.
fault. It's
Not
always
what I
user
said.
error, he
Not-
says. I was
no,
like, Alan,
no.
no. I'm like, I'll be honest.
I'm
I
being-
wasn't looking 100% of the time at the bags coming off. But what are the odds of all these people who are just desperate to get home that somebody's going to... And my bag was huge because I wanted to do all this shopping in Nashville. So I bought this really huge bag. Nobody's going to go for the biggest bag if they're stealing. They're going to grab the little one and run, right? I was like, Alan, I really don't think it. So anyway.
I'm being highly misrepresented.
That's the truth. You thought it was my fault.
I'm being highly misrepresented. Kelly said, my bag hasn't come off. I said, babe, are all the bags gone? She said, yes. I said, okay. Were you standing right where the bags come out? She says, yes. I said, okay. I said, is there a chance you look down? Maybe you were playing a game. Maybe you were talking to somebody. And is there a chance that...
How is what you're saying different than what I said?
Because I didn't say, well, it was your fault that the bags... That's not what I said.
That was the underlying
That's not
implication.
what I said.
It was the underlying implication.
I asked the question, is it possible that somebody might have taken your black bag, because everyone's bag is black, and rolled it off while you were in the middle
and then you
of...
started making me doubt myself.
While you were in the middle of killing slugs. And you said... It's possible.
No, I said no at first.
I don't think it would have happened.
I said no at first, but then the more you kept badgering me, I was like, well, maybe, because then it's like it's not here. So anyway, I have to get in line behind everybody whose bags are missing because you have to understand Dallas-Fort Worth Airport is one of the biggest in the country. It's a big connector. So a lot of people have connecting flights and they're stranded in Dallas and now they're trying to get their bags because their bags are still, they don't know where their bags are. So people are yelling at this one poor employee, poor man.
God.
And I'm just waiting my turn. And I told Alan, okay, there's now 6 people ahead of me. Okay, now there's 3 people ahead of me. Okay, Alan, I'm next. And right when it was my turn, the man said, excuse me, ma'am, I'll be right back.
Oh, no.
It was my turn.
God.
I was like, that's okay. That's okay. I'm trying to breathe. I'm like, he needs to go do what he was doing.
You're texting me all this.
I'm texting him all of it.
And I'm wanting to run in there and like tackle somebody.
No, it's not this man's fault. He went and there was 2 baggage carousels where there was some unclaimed luggage and he had to go pull them off. So now there is unclaimed luggage everywhere. I mean, because there's a sea of unclaimed luggage because so many issues. So I didn't yell at him. I just said, hi, I was wondering, I said, my husband's bag arrived. I said, here's my claim check. Please, people, always hang on to your claim check. You never need it. 1,000 flights, you've never needed it, but one time you're going to need it. And he's like, ma'am, did you check both? Yes, I promise you I've checked all the carousels. So he ran the little tag and he said, ma'am, your luggage is here. I was like, it's not. It's really not.
And this whole process is taking, 30, 45 minutes? And remember, this is after the whole day of all the buffoonery before, right?
And he was so sweet. I wasn't yelling. And he said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the back. I'm going to call down. He can't do it. He said, I'm going to call down and I'm going to have them turn the baggage carousel back on. Sometimes a bag will get stuck and it will get unloosed and it will come on the carousel. I said, okay, great. I'll that's great. So he turns the carousel back on and I go stand and wait while he starts waiting on other people who are yelling at him. And it's just a sad thing. And so I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And the whole cycle, when 100 people are getting off a plane, I'm just waiting for that entire cycle and the thing cuts off again. And I go get back in line and I said, sir, I'm sorry, my bag didn't come off. I guess I'm going to have to file a missing bag report. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's just stuff, right? But I have to still file I went online and I had to file a report there. So he gets everything filed for me. Now, in the meantime, while he's filing my paperwork, people are starting to lose their tempers. A pilot came up. He was flying a deadhead. I was like, don't tell me a pilot lost his luggage. He looked at me. He did not think that was funny at all. He wasn't trying to get his luggage.
Is that like when you called Tom Landry by the wrong name?
Right. He said, no, I cannot get the hotel. There's airport hotels and there's all these hotels around the airport. He said, I can't get anybody to answer the phone at the hotels. Is there a phone where I can do the airport shuttle? Is there anything? And the man's like, I don't know. And he's like, he said the Ubers and the Lyfts are downstairs with the cabs. He said, there are none. He said, there are women downstairs in tears because there are no cars, nothing. Everything is shut down. So I'm like, oh, this is not good. And the same time, the alarm starts going off because a woman, obviously a troubled woman, she had been pacing up and down. We could tell there was something wrong with her. She tried to go back into the airport, that spinning door
that says
not
an entrance.
An entrance. It's constantly moving. She tried to go back in. She's standing there yelling, I need my husband. I need my blankety blank mask. She's cussing and everybody's like, ma'am, she's just mad. And they finally, and her husband's out here with us and he's walking around. His pants are ripped down the back. He's not exactly.
How whipped was that guy?
It was like, and so she finally comes out. She's cussing here and there. And her husband kind of guides her over.
So he was clapping back at him, huh?
And I'm still filling out my bag report. And then she takes off her shoes and starts throwing them across the terminal.
Jeez.
And he goes and picks up her shoes and brings her back. She's obviously having an episode. And she is cussing. She is screaming. And anyway, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm feeling very, it's just awkward. Nobody's making eye contact. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised. I thought if you tried to go through the wrong way of those doors that automatically you're arrested. But apparently, because the airport was in such chaos at this point, nothing happened.
Jeez.
So anyway, I was like, Alan, okay. I texted him. I just filed my missing bag claim. Come get me. I'm coming to the door. Mm-hmm. As I am walking to the door, after all this has transpired.
After about an hour of this.
The baggage carousel starts moving again. And I'm like, what's happening? And so as I'm about to walk out the door, and I know Alan's waiting for me, I was like, just wait a second, Alan. Just wait 1 second. And I looked over my shoulder. And as I'm looking, coming up out of the conveyor belt is one lone bag. It's my bag.
And it kind of had this gold glow around it. And just, whoa.
It was my bag. It was my bag. All by itself.
Only one.
The man told me, he said, sometimes when they're transporting luggage, that a bag will fall off. And apparently somebody found my bag, threw it on a conveyor belt, pressed the button finally. And I was literally, I was walking out the door. And I told Alan, that was God. That was God. God said, Kelly Raspberry Evans, I was testing your patience and you passed. That's what I think. That's what I think, Alan. I have to believe that because why else would that have happened that way?
You passed?
Yes, I was very patient. When I was standing there in that line, I told my mom, I said I was talking to people. I was, trying to I was showing them compassion.
You were?
Yeah, I was commiserating with them about their lost bags. Mm-hmm. One lady said, my bags are in Puerto Rico. I was oh, you poor thing. And we were just talking. And the pilot, that even though I made the bad joke, we were talking.
So after all that Kelly just described, I was right there by the curb. She comes out, had 2 bags.
Well, he kind of went to the wrong exit. So you didn't see me coming up I said, you're going to 26, right?
The sign that I was parked next to said bag claim 26.
It said 25 and 26. The one I came out of said 26. So you didn't see me, but I didn't say anything to you.
That was probably a good thing.
I didn't say anything. I just went through the snow and I went to the truck and I just got in. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you just got in because I threw the bags in the back.
He was so grumpy. And then my Bluetooth was on, and so he's trying to listen to his country music, and my murder podcast came on. He's like, turn off your Bluetooth.
No, Kelly, of course, her phone never has a charge, so she's got to plug it into to my cable that is hooked up to my Apple.
My phone never has a charge because I've been in an
CarPlay.
Airport all day, honey.
That's why I brought you that little mobile charger you never used.
I used it on the plane, babe.
Okay, so then we drive home. No problem driving home.
Well,
we saw a polar bear. We saw some reindeer.
Alan accidentally took a little wrong turn, but that was fine. Remember, we were like, where are we? And I pulled out the Waze to get to the dogs, and thankfully, I pulled it out at the right time.
We were on 121.
But
we didn't take a wrong turn.
We didn't know exactly where we were, and thankfully, the Waze got us back.
Okay, well, I didn't take a wrong turn. We were on 121.
Okay, honey.
Okay. So we got off. Yeah, we went and got the dogs. That was really no issue, and then we got home, and I wanted to do drugs.
It was a long day.
I was so whipped.
And I was like, are we going to do the podcast? Nope. We're not doing the podcast.
Are you kidding me? We didn't get home till 9:30 or 9:45?
It was late. And then the Kid Craddock morning show has been canceled. The only reason is because we're all working from home right now. And not everyone, I'll tell you, I am so fortunate. I'm not rubbing anybody's nose in it. It is what it is. But I'm not having any rolling blackouts, but everybody I work with is. And so if we're on the air and we're all working from home and suddenly the power goes out, there's no way we can do a show.
JC's power went out?
He's had the rolling.
Really? Mm-hmm. I know Al's did.
Yeah. So everybody's having it, and it's just been a big mess. But I don't know when exactly. I think we're trying to get back on with the Kid Craddock Morning Show by Thursday, hopefully. We're not really sure. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, we're having best of shows in the meantime. But I'm sorry that the podcast didn't go out in a timely manner. But we're here now. Getting back on track.
Let me just finish. We need to bring home for Jerome, babe. We're going real long.
I know, but it was a lot.
So I wanted to do just real quick. I wanted to do a welfare check on my mom and dad today because I'm like, how are you guys doing? And my dad says, we didn't have power all night one night. And I'm like, that is nuts.
See, we were out of town. We couldn't do anything about that.
I'm like, what was the temperature in the house? And they're like, I don't know, it was 40. I'm like, Dad, you cannot, you got to come over here. And he's like, no, we're okay. I'm like, really? I said, we have a fire. We've got power. We've got hot coffee. I said, I will come get you and Mom, bring you over here, and you can just hang out and watch Netflix. No, we're doing okay. I'm like, Dad, okay. So he just wouldn't do it. So I told Kelly, I said, will you call them or text them or whatever? She said, well, I'll make my famous mom's mac and cheese, go get a rotisserie chicken or some fried chicken and take it over there to them and just check on them. And I said, okay, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, make sure they're okay because they were being very adamant about not coming.
Yeah. So Kelly made the mac and cheese. I got the chicken from the grocery store and I took it over there tonight at about 6 o'clock. And I told Kelly, I bet you anything they're sleeping because they go to bed so early. They get up early. So I pull up to the house. The entire neighborhood is dark. Okay. I walk up to the door and my dad knew I was coming. So he left the door unlocked. So I'm knocking and I don't see there's no lights or anything. So I just walk into the house and there's a towel underneath the door. So I got to really bang and push on this towel to get past. And I've got the macaroni and cheese and the chicken.
Yeah, they're telling you to put towels underneath door sills to keep the air out and, telling people how to conserve energy.
Yeah. So then I see that there was a fire in the fireplace, but it was just like a Duraflame log. And the entire house is pitch black except for this Duraflame log. And I walk in and I'm like, hello, Dad, Mom? And nobody says anything. And then I kind of tiptoe into the living room, and they had moved all the furniture out of the way, and there was a bed in front of the fireplace. And I'm like, Dad? And I walk over, and he's asleep. I can hear him like, he's snoring. So it's dark. I can't see a thing, and I think it's just my dad. I don't know where my mom was. I think she was probably in the back, unless she was huddled up with my dad. So I just tiptoed into the kitchen. I could hardly see. I left the macaroni and cheese and the chicken. I opened the fridge, but there's no power. So the fridge was warm. So I don't know what's going on with their food.
They put it outside in the snow.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
And then I could hear their faucets dripping, so they had done that. But my dad was dead asleep in front of this fire. Lord knows where my mom was. So I just kind of was like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't want to wake him up. I could tell my he's breathing. So
we're going to go get them tomorrow.
So then I left and I texted my dad. And while we were doing the podcast, he texted and said, he said, I just woke up. And I'm like, Dad, that is a wheels off scene you got going on over there.
Well, they're coming over here tomorrow. We have to go get them. We have to get your sister.
Got to take care
of all get on board and get them.
You got to take care of the elderly when it's like this.
Seriously, this isn't even funny.
I know.
Got to go get them. You've got to go get them.
Kelly said, how cold was it in the house? And I said, well, it didn't feel cold to me because I had just come from outside. I bet if you're living in there, it's very cold. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're doing a podcast. We're recording another one tomorrow. We'll let you know how that turns out.
Let you know how it turned out.
That they might be doing the podcast with us. You never know.
Yeah. No, I doubt it. They'll think that's too lewd.
Why?
This podcast?
We weren't lewd tonight except for one time.
What was the one time?
When you talked about lube.
Oh, lube?
That was it.
Well, there was no lube.
There wasn't.
Hello, and. All right, babe. Well, there you go. We made it back in one piece. I'm glad we're back, and we did a podcast. We had to do a podcast.
We are. And we're, I'm seriously, we're praying for people who are without power. It's a very serious situation. And hopefully things will be back to normal soon. Like I said, it's Texas. It's supposed to be in the 60s next week. But then the fallout from all the damage done this week is going to be going on for who knows how long.
Hey, and I know there's a lot of, we joke around. We try to have fun here. I know there are a lot of people who are having a hard time. It's got to suck, like my mom and dad, not having any heat. And people are like really down and just kind of beaten down. There's still the pandemic stuff going on. But try to think of this summer and try to think, I could go to Mexico.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Like, I could go to Mexico.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to give you guys an update. We've had 32 rooms already gone on that vacation. 32.
We're borderline taking over this resort.
We're going to take over the resort.
I don't know how many rooms they have. But would that be hilarious if,
whole resort was us?
Wouldn't that? Maybe one day. That's a dream, right? That's a dream.
But if you are thinking, this really sucks, and after all this stuff, stop sucking, I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to go to Mexico this summer. We're with Kellie and Allen. Just go check out our website, kellyandallen.com/vacation, and all the details for that Mexico vacation are there. That'll give you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to it.
Give me a reason to start working out again.
There you go. All right, babe. Well, love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners desperately.
So thankful. Thank you, God, for getting us home safely.
Yes, and I'm glad we're here because we need to podcast again real soon.
Very soon.
Tomorrow. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.